Good afternoon. I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching. As always, it is appreciated. I seen some footage online the other day, and it gives me room for thought and consideration, and I'm quite disturbed by what I've seen, and I want to explain why. We're based on Christian values in the United Kingdom, but it is a broadly secular society. Now, the fact that we're a broadly secular society means that you shouldn't really be prohibited from doing things, and we're meant to be all kumbaya and all about inclusion. The DEI effect. Alright? Now, what I've seen is that they look like to me military style training camps, but they are only for a specific religion. 3 guesses which religion that is. Yes. If you guess the religion of peace, then yes, you are correct. And I'm going to go into it in a bit more detail, but remember, we're in a country now where you can't actually have men-only spaces like the Garrett Club down in London, which was a gentlemen-only club, no women allowed. So that's the tenor and tone of the inclusion for the United Kingdom. So not only can you not organise specific, from my understanding, specific religious training camps and facilities along, sectarian lines, you can't actually exclude the opposite sex either. Also, now many of these people could have been boat people. They could have been the fighting age men that are coming over from France, perfectly safe country, into the United Kingdom, because we simply don't know. This is the thing, when you're bringing in a foreign culture and a foreign language, if you're not speaking the native tongue and you haven't got an interpreter to hand, you are entirely dependent on good faith that they aren't up to nefarious purposes. This is a national security concern and a threat. When you see all of these essentially 25 to 40-year-old men coming over on the boats, what are their intentions? Is it simply a better life? Is it because we're an open society and we don't protect our most vulnerable people? What is it exactly that they're coming to the UK for? And then we find out that we've got primary school children sending Valentine's Day messages and well wishes to asylum seekers. If that's not a red rag to the bull, then I don't know what is. I don't know. It's like they're offering up our children as sacrificial lambs. That's one interpretation. But back to this training camp. I'll get to the video now, actually. Let's just...
Different images and thoughts.
Now, if that doesn't raise alarm bells, it should do. Let's imagine, for example, we had a similar training style camp for people that are Protestant, Church of England, all over the country. Would the government have something to say about that? Would they allow it to say, right, these are training camps and they're specifically for Protestants, nobody else is allowed? Let's just invert it completely and say we're going to allow training camps for Protestants, and we're going to have separate training camps for Catholics, and we're going to have separate training camps for Hindus, and separate training camps for Sikhs. Would any of this be allowed in the United Kingdom? Well, no, it wouldn't be allowed. And the reason why it wouldn't be allowed is, let's just bring up this information now, where is it? Here we go. The UK doesn't allow private military training without oversight. Private military style training is heavily regulated and restricted in the United Kingdom. Under the Terrorism Act 2006, Section 8, it is an offence to provide, receive, training in weapons or terrorist tactics. Even if the intent isn't terrorism, it's serious organised crime or paramilitary implications would raise red flags. Security and public safety. Establishing military-style camps implies combat training, which would trigger national security concerns. The police and MI5 would investigate and likely shut down any such effort, especially if it is restricted to certain groups along religious lines and excludes others. Discrimination and human rights laws. The Equality Act 2010 prohibits organisations from discriminating based on religion, belief in the provision of services or membership. A camp banning everyone else based on belief would be likely legal. So there we have it. What it looks like is it is illegal. That's what it specifically looks like here. Now, the point I made earlier is potent, but it raises a deeper issue, and that is the king is Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, and he's also head of the established church, being the Church of England. So there would be another barrier, which is the king cannot maintain a standing army without the consent and funding from Parliament. So while the king is the Commander-in-Chief, Parliament holds the purse strings. So that would be another barrier for a Protestant training or military camp in the United Kingdom. Now you get the point. There's one religion above all others that seems to have a particular carve out, and they seem to be able to run rampant and literally do anything or everything because of their religious beliefs. And I find that puzzling. We've seen from the Southport riots last year that there's certain communities, especially in Jess Phillips' constituency, which is, I think it's Mossley Hill. Anyway, it's a Birmingham constituency, that she's complicit in allowing these sectarian politics to take hold. The police were allowing them to put weapons in a local mosque. Why do they need all of this training for? What's coming? What are they privy to that we're not privy to, is what I would get to. Now, I'm going to bring up this article from the Jewish Chronicle. Okay, the Jewish community in Derbyshire has expressed concern over residential training camp in the Peak District run by Islamic cleric, a radical Islamic cleric. That is important. There is a distinction between your moderate Muslim, what our London Mayor Sadiq Khan would call a Uncle Tom. Then you have Islamists like this, which aren't terrorists themselves, but do have sympathy for the aims of the terrorists that are actually committing atrocities. This is what this person falls into because he's being described as an Islamist. Okay, so there are specific different factions within Islam and within the Muslim community, and we have to be careful that we're not just saying all Muslims, because that would be Islamophobia, and we're not allowed that now, are we? So, it is run by a Shia influencer. Now, from what I understand, you've got Shia Muslims, which is the more extreme elements, and you've got Sunni Muslims, which are the more moderates. So that's also important. So he is a Shia influencer, and he's called Hassan Macki, for the spiritual warrior camp. It combines combat training with religious instruction. If that doesn't scare you, I don't know what will. Promotional material for the course shows young men learning how to throw punches, wrestle applicants, and ask how much they value discipline and brotherhood. So then, you're getting, you're sort of saying you're fostering a us and them mentality. No women allowed, no one outside the religion allowed. It's us against them, us against the world. How is this diverse? How is this inclusive? How is this... It's not. It's not about anything like that. It's about protecting themselves and their own people. Let's just see now. Promotional material, we've done that bit. But Macki, as the Jewish Chronicle revealed, has previously won members of Hezbollah, including a British friend who died fighting for the terrorist organisation. He also said after the death of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah that he would have undoubtedly chosen Nasrallah over his own daughter. As a result, the local Jewish community have expressed deep alarm over the camp. I'm right there with you. Why they be trained up military style? It freaks me out. Now, if in the original application, they branded it like a adventure, outdoor, or leadership training programs, that would be entirely legal. It would not be. It should be non-military in nature, Duke of Edinburgh style. follow safeguarding insurance, health and safety regulations, and equal access or justified practical grounds for the non-discriminatory status. I don't think the Church of England would get anywhere near to this level of autonomy within the United Kingdom, and it's the registered and it's the established church. This is deeply concerning, and it's not just down in England as well, because we had similar support for the Muslim community over the Christian community in Scotland. The separatist member of the Scottish Parliament, who's standing down at the next election, Kate Forbes, when she ran to be First Mistress of Scotland, they attacked her on the basis of her religion, because I think she's Presbyterian. And the incoming First Minister who beat her prayed to Mecca. That's right, prayed to Mecca. That's not Mecca Bingo, by the way. That was the only Mecca I knew about, Mecca Bingo, before all of this nonsense came on us. And that was completely A-OK and completely fine. Now, you let me know if I'm overstating things here. Are you concerned about these training camps shooting up all over the UK? What's their aim? What's their purpose? Who's done the vetting? What safeguards are in place? How is this allowed? Anyway, these are just my thoughts. I hope I've kept it nice and broad. Keep it non-specific apart from the organiser, who is a Islamist by his own reckoning. And it's not just the Jewish community that should be concerned. I'm deeply worried, I'm deeply concerned by this. This is the sectarianism that was previously only in Northern Ireland between the different factions of Christians, and now we've imported an entirely different set of sectarian people to the United Kingdom. It makes you almost nostalgic for the Troubles, when that was the biggest problem that we had in the United Kingdom, was different factions of Catholics or Christians fighting each other. Now we've got entirely alien cultures that are not native to the United Kingdom, and the training along religious sectarian lines. Now, if you think I'm overstating things, you make me aware. If you think this is a mountain out of a molehill, you make me aware. Does the government know about this? Do they even care about this? Is this part of the plan? What are they actually doing? I feel like I need to write to the Home Secretary about this to say, listen, you get your house in order, this is a national security risk. All of these people, by the way, they are freely travelling between the United Kingdom and Iran. And Iran is it's a hostile nation to Britain. We don't know who these people are coming over from France. We really don't know. I say the risk is too great. If there's even a 1% chance that any of what I'm saying is true, then the Home Office needs to take it as an absolute certainty and close these places down. Have a good day. I hope I've given you something to think about. Thank you for your time.